All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Too Easy Sports Betting. I'm Trice Too Easy. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. If you've been here, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. It helps me and my channel a lot. And lastly, if you'd like to join my sports betting community, the link to the Discord will be in the pinned comment and in the description of the video. It's one of the best sports betting communities there is, filled with dope people, and we're in there all day, every day, cooking up plays, talking about sports, talking shit, and having a good time. So if you'd like to be a part of something, if you're getting into this, if you're taking it serious, come join. $5 measly ass dollars. Come holler at us and let's get some money. Okay, so I don't have the picture of the review for yesterday, but this one isn't my fault. Yesterday we were moving furniture in and out of the house, so I was doing that all day, so I didn't have time to write it up. I took a screenshot of my picket and shared that in the Discord, so I didn't type it up. But we went 5 wins, 3 losses, so good day. Went up like a unit and a half, solid day. Yeah, football's always solid, so you already knew I was going to be positive as soon as there was football on. It just is what it is this year. It's just how the season's been. I can't do anything wrong with football. It's like I touch it and it just turns gold. That's just how football's been for me. Anyways, we're going to start with player props. Then we're going to do the slate review. There's kind of a lot to talk about today because there's a ton of games and there's a lot of playoff implications and things that could change. So I'm going to try to go in detail each game, talk about what I think, but we'll start with the props as usual. Give me 1 second. Let me exit some of this extra nonsense. All right, so let's get right into it and start with the player props. Obviously, before I do that, I need to get this pulled up so you can actually see the screen. Give me 1 moment. Okay, so before I actually talk about the props, this is the sponsor of the video, Bet Any Sports, guys. If you are in a state, it's the best offshore sports book there is. They're giving a 30% cash bonus right now up to $600. So basically, they're going to give you a 30% deposit match. And as soon as you claim your reward, you go on here, you can do player props, parlays, you can do any type of bet that you would like to do as if you have a recreational sports books like FanDuel or ESPN Bet, but you do it from your computer or your phone. You don't have to go to a casino. If you're in a state where sports betting is illegal, you don't have to use bookies and all this shit. It's just a really nice tool to have, okay? Anyways, first player prop I'm going to be on today, guys. And by the way, this is Outlier. They sponsor me as well. They're the best sports betting app there is. Okay, so first player prop I'm on, guys. Baker Mayfield, 250 or more passing yards. Now, again, I'm not going to talk about why I'm placing these props because I want to go into each game very detailed. But to keep it simple, the Saints are 27th in the league in passing. They can't stop the pass. Head to head, he's got 309 and 325 when he saw him. So he had a heyday the last time he saw them. He got 325. The Saints are just awful. Next guy is Rico Dowdle, 60 or more rushing yards. So he had these 4 great games, and he had that one bad game versus the Bucks. Then he came back out and rushed for 100 on the Eagles. This dude is a menace. The line is at 60, and he's versed the Commanders, who are 28th in the league at rushing yards allowed. To me, this is the most ridiculous line of the day. If you wanted to ladder him up to like 90, so 60, 70, 80, 90, and get tons of value for it, I wouldn't be mad at you. This line makes absolutely no sense. Rico Dowdle should murder this. Next, John Taylor, 80 or more rushing yards. So, I mean, on the season, he's got a 69% hit rate anyways. And Jacksonville's 21st in the league versus rushing. They can't stop the run to save their life. Jonathan Taylor's been a menace all season. I mean, his last 4, 97, 107, 218, and 125. Dude's just going nuts. I see no reason. He hasn't saw him this year. I see no reason not to take him at 80. And then lastly, you got Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's got a record to break with a few catches, I believe, or some yards. And I mean, look, the Chargers are 13th in the league at stopping receiving yards, so they're pretty good at it. But he did see them once this year, and he got 180 receiving yards. So they did terrible stopping him the first time. Maybe this time they adjust, play some double teams, but the Rams are resting. Well, I don't want to talk about it too much. Rams are resting their starters. I don't think they're going to be on him. I think he should blow this line out of the water. Okay, so those are my 4 player props that I'm on today. I was on 5. I did have Brian Thomas Jr. for the Jags receiving yards, but I checked the weather and it's supposed to be snowing very hard there. We've seen snowing not be very good to wide receivers and quarterbacks, but it's been really good for the running backs. Running backs in the snow have been dominant, but the receivers have struggled and the quarterbacks have struggled. So if it's like snowing hella hard, I don't want to back him, but it is something to look at. His line's pretty low at like 60 or 70, and I mean, he's hit it like every game. So consider that, but I'm staying away from it, okay? So anyways, let's get into the slate and talk about each game. I'm going to go into detail because these things need to affect your bets. You need to remember about the playoff implications before you go firing off your units. So let's get started. Let me make this so you can actually see it. Sorry about this. All right, good to go. Okay, you're good. All right, so let's start. And the games with stars have playoff implications on them, so I'll talk about them as I go through them. So the first game is the Panthers and the Falcons. Okay, so Falcons will want to murder them. Now, mind you, there is Michael Penix Jr., and he's their starting quarterback, and he's the rookie, and he's a southpaw. He's looked pretty good, but he's struggled with things you'd expect from a rookie, taking bad sacks, throwing a couple picks that he shouldn't have thrown, things that you'd expect. However, today is versus a Panthers team who's fucking terrible. Now, why is this game important? The Falcons will win the NFC South, and they avoid playoff elimination. So what has to happen is the Falcons have to win and the Bucs have to lose. Do the Bucs lose today? I'm going to say not a chance in hell, but they play at the same time. Trust me, the Falcons are going to go out here and try to beat the Panthers into the ground so that they can at least have a chance to make it to the playoffs if the Buccaneers lose. So expect the Falcons to come out here and give it their all. The Panthers are playing for absolutely nothing, but I guess to make sure the Falcons don't get in. Like they have no reason to even really take this game serious. The Falcons do. Michael Penix Jr. has been solid. He's not been great, but he's been pretty fucking good. Now, the Panthers are solid versus the pass, but one of the worst teams in the league versus the run. So it's a bad matchup because, unfortunately, the Falcons have one of the best running backs in the league in Bijan Robinson. His line's at 100 today. So what should happen is Panthers do what they do and just don't move the ball very well and get stopped quite a bit. And the Falcons just run the ball down the field the entire game. And Michael Penix Jr. is not bad. And he's mobile and he can throw pretty well too. So I think it's a very bad matchup for the Panthers. Falcons should come out here and want to murder them so that they can at least have a chance to make the playoffs. And I think also, I believe in scripts big time. I believe in that sports are rigged big time. And this would be a good story to have this young rookie quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., go in here, go to the playoffs, and at least have a chance at it. It just makes for better entertainment. So people want to see him in the playoffs. They want to see the Falcons in the playoffs, and it's a bad matchup for the Panthers. Falcons by 7 by murder today is where I got to go. Next, Bears and the Packers. So I decided to fade this game. I don't want any part of it. Mainly, now, here's the thing. Did I end up playing? I might have ended up playing this. Hold on, give me a second. I actually did end up playing this. I was going to fade this game because I'm like, the Packers are playing for absolutely nothing. It doesn't matter to them. They're probably not going to play the starters. However, the coach came out and said that he is going to be giving it his all and that he wants to win this game very bad. And I was kind of like, well, why would he even care? But if the Commanders lose and the Packers win, they can get the 6th seed instead of the 7th seed. The 6th seed versus the 7th seed is a big deal because the 7th seed is going to play a fucking tank of a team, probably like the Eagles or somebody. So you do not want to be in that situation your first game in the playoff. You at least want to get a playoff for 2 wins. You damn sure don't want to be 7th seed versus the Eagles. I think that's who they play. Regardless, the coach for whatever reason wants the 6th seed very badly. And so because of that, they're going to be still playing their starters, and they should want to absolutely bury these Bears. So I actually did play the Packers minus 9.5. And at this point, guys, the Bears have nothing to play for. Caleb Williams, I don't think his body can handle any more hits unless it's from a man. Anyways, but truthfully though, I really don't think that I don't think Caleb can handle getting hit anymore. And I just think the Packers come out here and destroy them. So Packers by 9.5. Commanders and the Cowboys. Now, this game I did fade, and I wanted to bet. Originally, I wanted to actually, believe it or not, take the Cowboys. The reason being, first of all, they were +7, and now they're +6.5, so the line's moving the opposite direction. But also, the Cowboys just beat the Commanders, and the Commanders are very, very bad versus the run. And Rico Dowdle is a star. I'm telling you guys, he's going to be one of the best backs in the league next year. He's dominant as fuck. They can't stop him. So when you have a team who's terrible versus the run, and the Cowboys, and they're not that great versus the pass, and the Commanders have been shaky. They either come out and dominate or they don't. Terry McLaurin worries me right now because he's been struggling. Last time, the reason the Cowboys really got killed was Terry McLaurin had 5 catches for like 115 yards. If Terry is not on sync with Jaden, I don't know that I just think the Cowboys are a bad counter matchup for the Commanders. I think the Commanders are very good. I don't like fading them. So I decided to just stay away from it, but I was going to take the Cowboys because they already beat them once and they're a really good counter matchup to the Commanders. But for me, the Commanders, though, the playoff implications, sorry, I should have told you guys, is very high. If the Commanders win, they get the 6th seed, so they can avoid playing the Eagles for a 3rd time. The Commanders' loss allows the Packers to go to the 6th seed. So that's what I was saying. So the team that loses will have to play the Eagles. So them Packers damn sure want to win, and then they want to hope for a Commanders loss. Because basically teams don't want to play a fucking well-rested Eagles team. So if the Commanders win, they avoid the Eagles. If the Packers win and the Commanders lose, the Packers avoid the Eagles. So either way, you're basically the Commanders damn sure want to win this game bad to avoid playing Eagles first round. They want to win this game bad. So I want to take the Cowboys, but I'm fading it because the Commanders need this win. Next, Saints and the Buccaneers. I'm on the Buccaneers by murder by 14. Again, as we already know, guys, the Saints are destroyed. Quarterbacks hurt, running backs hurt, which is their only 2 players that do anything. Their wide receiver 1 is hurt. I think their tight end might be injured. Their defense is beat up. The Saints have no healthy players at all. The line is now minus 14.5. I got it at 13.5, so it's moving the wrong way. And the playoff implications for this Saints game is very important for the Bucs. It's very simple. If the Bucs win, they clinch the NFC South and they make the playoffs. And they clinch the number 3 seed if the Rams lose, which the Rams could lose today because they're resting all their starters. So, this game is huge for the Buccaneers. So I think Baker Mayfield comes out here, has another 300-yard game, passes all over them, and they want to run the score up and bury the Saints. They want this win bad. It secures their playoff, and it secures the NFC South and gives them the 3 seed because the Rams are most likely going to lose. So big game for them. The Saints the Saints are terrible, and the Bucs want to win this bad. So give me the Bucs by 14. I'm trying to focus the games that actually have meaning because the games that are meaningless, they're hard to cap. Next, you got the Bills and the Pats. I faded this, guys. Neither of these teams give a shit. The Bills are resting their starters. The Pats suck so bad I can't even bet them versus the backups. And I mean, the Bills are still favored at minus 190 even with the starters out. This game means nothing to either team. It's no point to put your hard-earned money on it. Just fade it. Jags and the Colts. Now, this one, if it wasn't supposed to be heavy snow, I was going to be on the over 44.5. You have 2 god-awful defenses. I mean, fucking terrible, bottom of the bucket defenses. And you have 2 offenses who run the ball, can pass the ball. The Jags have looked great. The Colts have looked pretty damn deadly on offense. They just have no defenses. You have 2 just bottom of the bucket teams who are capable of scoring with deadly weapons all around. The young guys who want to play. I faded it because of the snow. It's supposed to be snowing extremely bad in Indianapolis, so I'm not gonna try to even make a bet here except for the running back Taylor because the running backs have looked great in the snow this year. Every bad rain, bad snow game, running backs have just been unstoppable. They just can't. The defenders can't move. The receivers and the quarterbacks have not looked good in snow. I'm staying away from it, but I was originally on the over 44.5. We'll see if I regret not taking Junior and the over. We'll see. Texans and the Titans, I faded this one because, again, game doesn't matter at all. There's no playoff implications. Neither team cares. And the Texans are plus 105. Like, this is just stupid game to try to capture. Joe Mixon's probably not even going to be playing for real. The Texans should be benching their starters. Fade it, stay away from it. Don't put money on it. Giants and the Eagles. So originally I was just going to take the Eagles to win by 3, even with they're resting everybody. Their quarterback is hurt, but he'll be back for playoffs. Saquon's out, which is sad because you'd love to see him just play a quarter or 2, get 100 rushing yards and break that record, but he's not going to do it. So with that said, it's just a fade for me. I just don't see a point in betting these games. These are stupid games that don't matter, and I think they're silly to put money on. Next, you got the Chiefs and the Broncos. I am on the Chiefs money line, guys. Now, hear me out. The Chiefs are benching pretty much everybody. I'll tell you guys. Give me 1 second. Let me tell y'all who's benched. They're benching like basically their whole damn team. Fuck, I can't find it anymore. See if I can find it with this. Here we go. This should be it. They're benching. Fuck, I can't find it. I lost it. Anyways, they're benching basically everybody. Their entire team. Like the quarterback, the running back, the tight ends, the wide receiver ones, the defensive stars. They're benching basically everybody. So because of that, I mean, I'm talking their whole damn team. Like every starter is being benched more than any other team. So because of that, the Chiefs are plus 425 and the Broncos are minus 650. Hear me out though, guys. And I mean, hear me really well. I believe sports are scripted for entertainment. It is an entertainment business. There will be no better story in the history of football than the Bengals coming from a 1 or 2% chance to make the playoffs, winning 5 in a row, Chiefs beating the Broncos with all their starters benched, Dolphins losing to the Jets, a 4-12 Jets, Bengals make the playoffs and make a deep playoff run and maybe win the Super Bowl or at least get deep into it. That would be like one of the most entertaining, craziest talked about things in sports ever at this point. I think it is written in script that the Bengals make the playoffs. I genuinely believe that. They are too good of a team. They're too entertaining. They have too many stars and too many fans to just miss it. I literally don't. I can't see them as a business allowing the Bengals to not make the playoffs. I'm being dead serious. And we saw the Chiefs upset a team. I think it was the Bears last year. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments. The Chiefs just did this. I think last year they benched all their starters, came out and beat the Bears to keep them out of the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken, it could have been someone else, but a similar situation's happened before. The Chiefs are a great team with a great organization and an excellent coaching and great offensive schemes and great defensive schemes. And I don't think it matters necessarily that the starters aren't in. The Broncos can't run the ball on the Chiefs, even if it's backups. They won't be able to run the ball on the D-line. There's no way. They didn't bench all their defense. They won't be able to run the ball. And Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix have been off all of a sudden. They looked hot for like 5 games, and now they've been ice cold. So I don't think they can throw the ball either. And these young guys getting a chance here are going to want to play their heart out and show that they should be getting more time and possibly start. And again, the Bengals it is written in the script that the Bengals make the playoffs. I'm telling you. So if the Bengals lose, and then Miami wins, they get in the Denver loses and Miami wins, they make the playoffs. If Denver loses and Miami loses, the Bengals get into the playoffs. They had like a 1% chance, and now it's like 20 something. And it's just it's so blatant that it's scripted to me. I'm betting the Chiefs. I'm betting the Chiefs, and I hope I fucking 4x my money because I put a full unit on them. All right, Seahawks and the Rams, next game. So I faded this one. Now, there are some playoff implications here. It's not like anything super crazy. What it is the Rams already won the NFC West. Seahawks are eliminated from playoffs, but the Rams can get the 3 seed with a win. But they don't seem to care. They're resting all of their starters. And so they might fall to 4 with Tampa Bay win. So I think they will fall to the 4 seed. Maybe that's a strategy because they don't seem to want the 3 seed benching all their starters versus the Seahawks. Now, Seahawks are eliminated. They're going to come out here and they should damn near play good ball. They should be trying to win. I simply don't trust Geno. I don't trust anybody on the Seahawks team whatsoever. So I'm not going to lay 7 points with them, even though the Rams are resting a lot of their stars. They're not resting their whole team, like the whole offense and whole defense, but they're resting like the quarterback, the running back, wide receiver one. Those guys are not playing. I still don't trust Seahawks to win by a touchdown. And the Rams pretty much said, fuck it, we'll take the 4 seed. So they're benching all their starters, so I'm not going to bet on a game like that. 49ers and the Cardinals, I almost took the 49ers at plus 180, but they're out of it and they're still benching a lot of players. They're benching QB, running back. Actually, Brock Purdy's hurt. Running back hurt. They're just they're battered with injuries. A couple defensive stars and a couple of wide receivers are benched. Debo's not playing and Lenore's not playing. So for me, there's just no reason to bet this. I do think the 49ers probably win, though. If you wanted to take them at plus 180, wouldn't be mad at you. They probably win. I may parlay the Chiefs with the 49ers today because I think they both win. We'll see. Dolphins and the Jets. So, fade. At first, I was all over the Dolphins. I was like, oh, yeah, Dolphins are winning this shit because if the Dolphins win, they are in the playoffs, right? Well, let me rephrase that. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me give you the actual spiel here because it's pretty technical. Hold on 1 second. So, if the Broncos lose, the Dolphins make the playoffs with a win. So if the Broncos lose to the Chiefs today, even though the Chiefs have benched everyone, if the Broncos still lose, the Dolphins win, they make the playoffs. So I was like, okay, the Dolphins need a win. They're going to want to win because if they do, they make the playoffs. So Dolphins are going to come out here and just give it everything that they've got and then some. And of course, they play at the same, I believe in the same time window as the as the Chiefs. Let me double check this. Where's them damn Chiefs at? Yeah, of course they play it. They're both in the 4 p.m. time window, so that you can't see what's going to happen. So basically, Broncos lose to the Chiefs. Dolphins make the playoffs with a win over the Jets. However, if the Broncos win versus Chiefs who's not playing, the Dolphins are out of the playoffs and the Bengals are out of the playoffs. So, guys, again, it's just so scripted that the Broncos lose, the Dolphins lose, Bengals have the most craziest playoff entrance of all time. Because of that, I faded it. Originally, I was all over the Dolphins, like, okay, they need us to win, but I deeply believe Bengals are meant to win the playoffs. So because of that, I'm fading it, because I as much as I think the Dolphins dominate, I think the Broncos and the Dolphins lose and the Bengals make the playoffs in the craziest fashion we've ever seen in NFL history. It's the perfect script and perfect entertainment. And this has been a great football year, so why not keep the dopamine coming? So yeah, I faded it. Chargers and the Raiders, guys. Playoff implications on this one are pretty good. Chargers and the Raiders. Give me 1 second. So Chargers are in the playoffs, but they're playing for seeding here. So the Chargers are the 6th seed, but they can move up to the 5th seed. And because the Steelers lost, that gave them a chance to get to the 5th. Steelers won, they would have had to been 6th seed, but they just lost to the Bengals. So because of that, the Chargers are 6th seed, but if they win, they move up to the 5th seed. The coach apparently wants the 5th seed. He said everybody's playing and they're going to be out here giving it their all. DK Dobbins should be able to run all over the Raiders. I think the Raiders just suck. They have nothing to play for. Chargers get a better seed, which I think they apparently, what the coach said, they want the 5th seed. So give me the Chargers by a touchdown. They should be out here trying to win and get that better seeding spot. And then the last game of the day, guys, Vikings and Lions. Obviously, huge playoff implications. I'm sure many of you already know this, but whoever wins, this is such a crazy thing because so you have the winner of this game wins the NFC North, okay? So whoever, they're in the same division and they're both 14-2. Winner wins the division, they get a first round bye, and the loser gets dropped to the 5th seed. Do you understand how big this game is? You have two teams who are 14-2. The winner wins the division, gets a bye in the first round of the playoff, and the loser drops to the fucking 5th seed despite having 14 wins. So they become the first 13 win positive wild card team in NFL history. So this game is so crucial. I couldn't cap it. I was on the Vikings. I think the Vikings win. Truthfully, I do. I think the Vikings win. I think, again, I just think it's better script. I do think the Vikings win. This is the biggest game. This is the biggest not postseason game we've probably ever saw in NFL history. This is just such a crazy scenario. I was going to be on the Vikings at plus 130 because I think it's a complete coin flip. So I might just give me the plus money coin flip. I'll take it. If it's a 50-50 chance, if somebody brought a coin to you and said heads or tails, if you win, I'll give you 55. If I win, you give me 45. You're gonna play that because why would you not? You get plus value. Here, I think it's a complete coin flip. Vikings plus 130. I simply stayed off of it because it felt like gambling to me. I don't want to gamble. I want to sports bet. I don't want to gamble. Gambling is not what we want to do here. This is to make money and be profitable. It felt like I'll take a gamble. I don't want to do that. So I faded it. Okay, guys. So I stayed away from it, but I'd lean Vikings. My final plays of the day, everything I'm on. Here we go. I'm on the Falcons by a touchdown, Packers by 10, Rico Dowdle 60 or more rushing, Baker Mayfield 250 or more passing, Jonathan Taylor 80 or more rushing. I'm on the Chiefs money line, Jackson Smith and Jigba 60 or more receiving, and I'm on the Chargers by a touchdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays total. Let's get out of here. Let's have a great final week of NFL. It should be a blast, guys. This has been the best football season I've ever had personally. I couldn't lose. This season has just been unbelievable. Hopefully you guys were here to make some money with me. And that said, we will see. Hopefully it carries today and we end it on a strong note and then go into playoff ball and continue it there. But this season has just been unbelievable, guys. So let's get out of here. Let's get a bag and let's absolutely crack these folks.